knowing what am I doing today and how it's connected to my KPIs, to my manager KPIs, to my director KPIs, to the purpose, vision, mission goals of the company. Very important. Otherwise, you could be working on this, but it's not important. The problem I have seen in organization, everybody is working. Don't get me wrong. All the doctors are busy. All the engineers are busy. All the planners are busy. Busy doing what? What is key? Okay? Everybody is working. I'm not contesting that. To practice daily management, to monitor key objectives and KPIs to ensure teams meets purpose. So there are lots of exercise for both the chapters. And when you are doing this exercise, you can do your own department, your own division. And if you're not clear, just team up with a team who's clear today. Just see from their angle. If you want to do it together with your company, do it together with your company. Whatever value you see when we get to the exercise. Make sense? This is, how many people have heard about Hoshin Kanri? Which is, meaning is right here. To align the purpose of the organization to the frontline work. Connection. All going together. Okay? Having your SWOT, we already talked about it. Vision, mission, core values, we'll talk about. Voice of the customer. How many people listen to their customers? 2, 3 people I heard. Okay? Otherwise, you guys are, looks like you do listen to your customers.
Well, the
kind of.
Does everyone have the accessibility to hear what the customers have to say?
Yep. So your customers are saying something in your case, but what I saw is not being...
Like 2% of the staff see.
Yeah. No point. No point. Okay? Then understanding your products and services, then refining your KPIs, and I think I already gave you these exercises in your homework. Refine your KPIs, create 3 to 5 year objectives, convert it into yearly objectives. As soon as you convert it into yearly objectives, you will find out how we're going to achieve that. As soon as you set a target, that means now what? I need this, I need this, I need this, I need to work on this, I need to work on this, I need to work on this. 5 or 6 things will come out, which are tactical process improvements or problem solving. And that's what's covered in chapter number 3 and chapter number 4. So this is what Hoshin Kanri means. Everybody, whatever they are doing is aligned to the manager's goals. Whatever manager is doing is aligned to the director's goal. Whatever director is doing is aligned to the commissioner goals, and commissioner goals are aligned to the purpose of the organization. Simple. It's a simple focus. This is the manufacture plastic bags overall process, which has production, which has R&D, which has QC process, and production has receiving process, primary process, secondary process, shipping process. So do you guys understand, do you guys have a list of what are the key services, key products, key processes you have? That's the one thing I have seen when I go into the companies and I ask them, very easy for you, you fix the cars, okay? Simple, but even in there could be 2 or 3 different levels. I went into Parks and Forestry, I asked them, what do you guys do? It took them 2-3 weeks to figure out, we do grass cutting, we do horticulture, we do this. So this is my client. They do troubleshooting and repairs, preventive maintenance, campaigns, engine overhaul, tranny overhaul, axle overhaul, part sales. So for this exercise, you guys can go to your sheet, which should be the next sheet. After the Hoshin, after this one. We're going to touch this one. Okay, you guys can do it as a company. You guys can do it together. You can do it individually. It's up to you guys. Okay, very simple Hoshin Kanri exercise. Voice of the customer and what is key to them. So follow my slides. You can do it as a company. You can do it on your table. Pick up one example and just learn the tool. And you can apply it the way you want. You can also do it individually, up to you. So the first thing is voice of the customer. You have understood your purpose. You've understood why you exist. You have understood my key services, my key processes, right? Now we are getting into the voice of the customer. What is customer saying about you? You can keep it to design, or you can keep it to the company level, up to you. You can keep it to your own department level, right? I think that will be easier. Don't go to the company level. We already talked about quality, cost, delivery, morale, safety. These are the 5 KPIs, and your customer will be asking for this. First, listen from the eyes of the customer. Then, voice of the business. First, let's start with the customer. I strongly suggest, must for you guys, must do a survey. Start simple. Or do it at a gate checkpoint. Do it at the design phase 1, handoff of structure, or whatever you guys have your phases. In Honda, we had phases. This is an example. So when you have to do this part, number 4 will be done here, in the first box. Let me share my case study with you. This is at a company level, the guy who fixes all the buses. Not all the times customer will say quality if they don't have a quality issue. So they call their customers, which is all the transit bodies, TTC, Go Transit, Mississauga Transit, Brampton Transit. This is what they said. Your lead times are long, you guys are taking too long, and I'm not happy with the lead time. That's the only thing they heard from the client. Okay? Doesn't mean, in your case, you will not have quality issues. You may have cost issues. The customer said, we are okay with the cost. You guys are competitive. The other guys are charging $130 per hour. You're charging me $115 per hour. So they didn't say anything. You guys are okay? And then the safety or environment. They said, yeah, your buses are coming. We don't have too many of safety issues. So please do the exercise for Fix Auto. As an example, you guys do together. What are your customers saying on these things? Okay? In your case, what are your customers saying? Decide whether you are doing it at company level or you're doing it at department level. And because the customer will change. Why am I asking voice of the customer? Why would I start for KPIs or dashboard first the voice of the customer? Why didn't I start with, sorry?
Customer's always right.
Because if customer is not happy, there is no business. That's why I ask voice of the customer first. Before you hear your own voice, and that's the mistake I see many companies say, hey CJ, I'm monitoring the profit, I'm monitoring the revenue, but you're not monitoring what customer is saying? Are they saying anything or not? They're happy. But when you do the survey, the reality comes out. Or sometimes, especially in your industry, customers go on Google and they report. And there are places you can read about yourself, but you don't read, you don't download, you don't analyze. Even customers are saying something, but we don't even read or we don't even analyze. You have to convert everything into a number. Okay? So KPIs are very important. So this is Deming. You can't manage what you don't measure. If you can't measure it, you can't change it. Peter Drucker. Taiichi Ohno, the founder of Toyota Production System, started first by targets. No targets, no improvements. That means you need dashboard. Before dashboard, you need KPIs. Before KPIs, you need to know what I need to measure. Okay, this was my company I was working with. Data review was happening, but was not consistent and not focused. If you focus every day that lead time is important, number of buses is important, you will start improving it. Data monitoring and mechanism was started. Internal staff was asked to align with the voice of the customer and start monitoring. Data was collected for last few months to set KPIs. It's always good to pick up some previous months to start seeing the trends. After that, I asked him, what are you measuring internally? He said, I'm measuring the comebacks, how many buses are coming back, revenue, 1.5 million per month, which is 18 million per annum. The inventory cost is too high. I'm carrying an inventory of twice, right? 1.5 million, I'm carrying $3 million of inventory. And build versus actual hours, percentage is 60. What do I mean by this? Build versus actual. I'm spending 100 hours, I could only build 60 hours. Because customer is not stupid. You can keep on spending a lot of time on a bus, but they were saying, I will only pay you 60%. Because you have your own inefficiencies. You don't know how to find fault. It's not my issue. I'm not going to pay you 65 hours to find a fault where it should only take 5 hours. You know what I'm saying? You cannot bill everything to the client. You cannot bill, I was on that road and I was flying and I had a smoke and then I had a nice scenery. I stopped by. So I spent in that 1 mile 20 hours. Pay me 20 hours. Is it possible?
No.
How do they pay you?
By a month.
It's already set. There is a target. You have to achieve it, and then you measure it against the actuals. Make sense? So what are you measuring internally? Put down in the second box. What are you guys measuring internally as a business? What do you review? Customer has said something. What are you measuring internally about whichever process or company you have thought about? Morale of the customer. How do you measure the morale of the customer? The survey, satisfaction score. How do you measure morale internally?
Productivity.
Morale. We are talking about humans. Employee engagement scores, employee satisfaction scores, attendance, suggestions coming from them, and the last one, but the most important, the skills development. The turnover. Guys, that's morale, which shows are people staying with you. So you cannot answer so much on the customer side. Quality, it can go into the quality satisfaction score. Okay? Make sense? Moving on. Graph. Graph, graph, graph. Graph, graph, graph. I said 7 times. Why do you think I said 7 times?
So it'll stick.
If you have numbers written down, beautiful. And if you only look at 1 month, awesome. If you have graphs with previous months, what does it show you? Trends. Your job is, as a manager or as a leader, to push those graphs either up or push them down. What is this push? How will you push it? How? How is the business improvement? How is what we will be covering in chapter 3 and 4? Okay, but first I'm talking you, first understand your KPIs. And even there is no targets right now. We will talk about the targets. You know what is important to customer. You know what is important to business. You have started some kind of a graph, which should look like a dashboard. I'm not saying it should look like this. As long as it's graphical, whether it's a bar chart. The other day I was having a discussion with your boss. I drew line curve. He said, no, I want to see bar chart. I said, I don't care. As long as it shows you trends, that's what I care. As long as you can see visually without reading, just by looking, the whole philosophy is from far away you can see there is a target line. Are you below or above, whatever the direction you want to be? Sometimes you want to be below the target line. Sometimes you want to be above the target lines. As long as it's visual and you can see it from far away, just by the whole philosophy is while I'm walking by as a manager, I can see what you are doing. That's it. That's the philosophy. And I can talk to you why we are above. What are you doing about it? One of the commissioner told me, CJ, I want 1,000 improvements. I have 2,000 employees. I want 1,000 improvements. I said, sir, you're asking the wrong question. Set the KPIs and just ask them why you didn't achieve the KPI. You will have 16,000 improvements. Are you getting my point? You cannot set target to improvements. You set target to the KPIs, and anytime you don't achieve it, you ask why. And don't pick up a gun and start killing people that she didn't achieve the target. Ask why. If it's meaningful, let her fix whatever the issues are. When you connect your voice of the customer and your internal business, now you can set your targets. You know you are at 18 million per annum. Set a target, and don't set this target alone in the room. Can I throw this bottle? This is the KPI I have developed. Okay, and you are my manager. Look at this KPI. Can you achieve this? You are a manager. Yeah. You have people reporting into you on the back. Yeah. Do you agree? Okay, show it to your people. Catch ball. You may disagree. Just say, I disagree. Yeah, send it back to him. Have a discussion with him. Why does he disagree? Send it back to me. And maybe we will have a meeting, 3 of us together. Okay, before we set the target, this is called catch ball philosophy. Whatever you're trying to do, throw it to your people. Let them look at it. Let them decide before you establish it in stone. Make sense? Catch ball theory. Hoshin-Kanri, you have different names for it. When you do Hoshin-Kanri research, you will find catch ball theory also. Okay, So they sat down with the managers. They said we're going to increase the revenue in 3 to 5 years by $18 to $35 million. And how will we increase? It came out with projects also. We will increase the existing customer base by 45%. We'll bring new customers 45%, increase part sales. He also does part sales by 45%, reduce overtime cost by 50%. That's how we're going to increase our revenue and profit. On the inventory, we're going to reduce the inventory to $1.5 million. On the lead time, we're going to get to 4 days. That's what our clients are looking for. Okay? And the same thing with build versus actual, we're going to get to 95%. As soon as you set the target with the people, things start to change. Things don't change on its own.